Alright, so today we're doing 25 best movies ever made. I just got finished filming my games list, top 20 games ever made. If that intrigues you, make sure to go and watch that. It's a pretty good list. It's a long video, so just bear that in mind. And also, for this list, just like my other lists, there's going to be movies on this list that I have not included because either I just, one, completely forgot about them, and two, I haven't seen them in like a very, very long time, and I need to rewatch them to like add them to the list. Now, also like the games list, I will be updating all these lists I'm doing in about 6 or 7 months with more movies, games, shows, and also new games, movies, and shows. So, stay tuned for that. It's gonna be, again, like I said, 6 or 7 months. But anyway, without further ado, my first movie. Hang on, let me just pull it up real quick for myself. So I already have this pre-done, so I do. So I'm not doing this like off just the top of my mind of movies like randomly. I actually have this done, pre-done. Okay, so the first movie we have. Okay, that's games. Never mind. It's a pretty good movie. Straight out of Compton. It's kind of a filler movie, to be honest, for this list. Now I'm not saying that I do not I like this movie. I do not like it. It's a very good movie. It's the only no, sorry, I was gonna say it's the only music movie on this list, but it's actually not. Now that I think about it. Now I'm gonna go through this entire list, spoiler free. I'm not gonna get into spoilers. Like with the games, I'm not gonna go into spoilers. If you want to see me go into a spoiler review on any of these movies, let me know in the comments and I will happily do that. Especially for movies around say the top 15, top 10. Everything from here below, we're gonna kind of just zoom past it very fast because there's not a lot to say about it, to be honest. But this movie, I really do like this movie. It's about the NWA. If anyone doesn't know who they are, it's they're a rap group. Late 80s, early 90s, Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, Ice Cube, all those guys. It's an origin story on how that group of those artists all came together and made the band. Well, it's a band, I guess. But yeah, overall, it's a great movie. It's a very intense movie, so it is. If you don't really know the whole history around NWA and what happened to that group and stuff. So if you're interested in that kind of music, and it's set in Compton, Los Angeles too, in the late 1980s. So if that interests you as well, just that setting in general, and you do like that kind of music, like rap music and all that kind of stuff, and you like Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, Ice Cube, you like their music in general, you would love this movie, man. You'd love this movie. It's a very fun watch, so it is. And yeah, I guess that's all I really have to say about it. That's the first list. That's the first movie on our list. Next we are going on to. Will this work if I just put it in like this? Yes. The Social Network. Second movie. Very, very good movie. I only watched this recently for the first time, and man, let me tell you something. It was very good. It was very good. It was, like I said, it's similar to Straight Outta Compton. It's a fun watch, but it's also an origin story. It's about the making of Facebook. And I will say something, yeah. Whoever, the casting director or whatever, whoever picked Jesse Eisenberg to play Zach Zuckerberg, man, give that guy a raise, because he absolutely nailed that casting choice, because Jesse Eisenberg was amazing in this role. Just like Andrew Garfield was very, very good in this role too. Yeah, so like I said, it's the origins of Facebook, how Facebook was made and all that. It's about lawsuits and all that stuff. If you know anything about how Facebook was really made and stuff like that, then this movie explains it so much better. Not really, like I said, really much to say about it. It's a very good movie. The acting in this movie is surreal. The acting in all these movies now on this list are very, very good, but they get better and better as we progress through the list. So I should probably say that too. But yeah, Social Network, solid movie, definitely recommend it. As far as I know, it's on Netflix still. That's how I watched it anyway. Anyway, moving on. We are moving on to a very serious movie, actually. Um, Stronger. Oh, that's not shit. That's not how I spell it. Shit, my bad. Stronger. Right. First Jake Gyllenhaal movie. Man, this movie is sad. It's very good, and Jake Gyllenhaal's acting in this movie is fucking incredible. But it's a sad movie, man. I don't know how to like explain. I don't see. I would talk about it, but I don't know what the trailer shows in like for the movie. I don't know what the trailer for the movie shows, so I can't really say anything about what it's about. But if you look at it, if you look at a picture and the thumbnail for the movie, you can guess what it is. I'm not gonna say it because obviously I think it's fairly seeable to see what the movie's about just looking at the picture on its own. But if you don't think it is, then I won't say. But man, this is an intense movie. This is a very intense movie, and this is one of the many movies I regret watching on my laptop. I wish I watched this on the big screen because this movie is class, dude. It is very, very good. It's one of my favorite Jake Gyllenhaal movies as well, to be honest. His acting in this movie was great, and to be honest, I'm not sure if he won any awards off the top of my head for this movie. I'd imagine he did. But there's one scene in particular that I really do like. It's you probably like if anyone's seen the videos best acting scenes in like the 2010s. Literally, that's how I got introduced to this movie. Like the acting is so good, it was in one of them videos. So if that it's an intense movie. I said that already. It's a sad movie, but it's also a happy movie, and it's kind of in a way, it's kind of like a love story too. Actually, when I think about it. But yeah, look, if that interests you, this is definitely one to go for. If you are a fan of Jake Gyllenhaal's work, definitely take a look into this one. I think it is just like Social Network. I think it is still on Netflix. I could be wrong. Don't hold me to that, but I think it is. That's how I watched it anyway. But anyway, moving on, we have another one of my favorites. We got Prisoners, man. This movie is something else, dude. This movie is something else. Stars, like I said, Jake Gyllenhaal and Hugh Jackman. Honestly, I never thought I'd say this, but these two, I need to see them in more movies together. I need to see this duo in more movies because they are absolutely, like, the chemistry they have together. It's fucking class. They're like I said, with Stronger, they're with the top the best movie acting scenes in movies. This one definitely has it. It's the car scene. I'm sure a lot of you have it. I'm sure a lot of you know it, to be honest. Sorry, I said have. I don't know why. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it, and it is one of the most intense and amazing acting scenes I've ever seen in my life. That just sets the tone for this movie too. Jake Gyllenhaal plays a detective. Hugh Jackman plays just a normal father, but his friend and his daughter, they both go missing, and that kind of leads Hugh Jackman into this, down this path where he's willing to do whatever it is to find his daughters, and that is like, man, if that doesn't like intrigue you enough by just that small little synopsis as it is on its own, I don't know what will, because this movie is crazy. And the ending of this movie too, it's one of those movies where damn, like it gets you thinking at the end of the movie. I don't know how, again, like I said, I don't know how to say it without spoiling it, but yeah, Prisoners, great movie, definitely watch it. Moving on is again another serious movie. We got 7 Pounds. Arguably Will Smith's best ever movie. And here's a hot take as well. I'm not sure if it is a hot take, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think Will Smith is a great actor. I think he might be a top 20 actor of all time. But only when he's in his, he takes these serious roles. Don't get me wrong, I love his comedy roles. Like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and all that, I think they're great, and it suits him. But dude, in this movie, he really shows the world that he can act. He's an actor for a reason, and this movie really fucking shows it, dude. Um, it's a great movie. It's a very sad and depressing movie, but also it's a happy movie. It depends on how you look at it. Um, I'm a bit conflicted on it. Um, it's a sad movie, but it has a happy ending. Again, like I said, I don't know. I don't even know how I feel about it, to be honest. It all depends on the way you look at it, and even at that, I don't know how to feel about it. It's all I know how to feel is it's a great movie. I think it's his second best role he's ever produced in like any movie or any like show or anything. You're about to see my other movie. Where is that? Yeah, it's higher up the list. Some of you probably know already what his best role is, in my opinion, and many other opinions. But very good movie, man. It's a very serious, intense movie. But look, if you like that, and you like that kind of movie, then this is definitely one to go for. But anyway, moving on, we have how do I spell that? Revenant. There we are. Again, arguably Leonardo DiCaprio's best ever movie. The movie that, broke his streak of not winning Oscars. Yes, he won an Oscar for this movie. It's about time, It's about time, but man, this is a great movie. This is a really, really good movie. It's, like I said, and I don't mean to be repetitive with all these movies and, like, every other movie I name on the list, but, dude, intense. If I was to, like, describe one word to describe this movie, intense would be the word I'd use. It is crazy. The acting is crazy. The cinematography it's actually very good. So it is. It's very, very good. I don't really like. If I could talk spoilers for this movie, then I would get into more detail about it. In particular, one scene that you probably all know. It's a scene he's out in the woods. I'm not gonna get into it, spoilers, but if you know, you know, and that's probably why it's his best his best acting he's ever done in any movie. Anyway, moving on, we have the Dead Poets Society. It's a very this is a very, very good movie, man. It's a very, very good movie. It's a wholesome movie. The late Robin Williams, he is the main character in this movie. He's a professor, or a teacher, I should say. And man, this movie is really nice. It's it shows you how good of and how much of a legend Robin Williams was in like the whole film industry, because this movie really shows it off. And another movie I have on this list higher up. Yeah, again, not really much to say about this movie. It's just I love this movie to bits, and I don't really have words to explain it, how much I like this movie and how much it means to me. I guess if you've also watched this movie, it'll kind of make sense. And hopefully you'll understand where I'm coming from. But yeah, this movie, man, it's great. The acting in this movie is actually great, and I know I was gonna say something else, but I'll explain it when we get up here, because I don't want to spoil it for another movie. But anyway, moving on, we have Reservoir. Geez, that was easy. Not Reservoir. We have Reservoir Dogs. First Tarantino movie of many, I should say. Reservoir Dogs. Great movie. If there's one, like I said, and I hate being repetitive in like these rankings, but dude, it is intense, especially the last 20-25 minutes of this movie. It's actually kind of crazy. And if you know anything about Tarantino movies, you know he likes to go out with a big bang. That's his thing. That's what he does at the end of every movie. I'm not gonna, like I said, not gonna tell you what the big bang is, but it is great, man. It is great. Yeah, it's now I know it looks very low on the list compared to Like, well, not compared to the other movies. You haven't seen them yet, but I would probably put this higher. But for the fact that we have other movies coming up, they're on their own level compared to these couple of movies we have here. And you'll start seeing that when we get to like this row here. But yeah, Reservoir Dogs, great movie, man. Acting is amazing. Cinematography is actually kind of decent, to be honest. I know not every movie has good cinematography, but this movie definitely has that. Anyway, I was about to say something else. I was looking at something else. Whiplash. How do I explain this movie to you, man? How do I explain this movie to you? This is one of my favorite. This is my favorite music movie. Well, I should double check. Do we have any other music movie on this? No, we don't. Okay. Yeah, this is my favorite music movie. It's about this student that wants to be the greatest drum player ever, and you know he goes in this class. J.K. Simmons and Miles Teller, by the way, unbelievable actors, unbelievable roles, and they're acting in this. Excuse me, sorry. The acting in this movie is fucking amazing. This is one of the first movies as well, actually, I've seen with both actors. Like, so that's a great like introduction to their work. If this is the first movie that you're gonna see with these two actors in it, because they're absolutely, great actors. But yeah, so it's about Miles Teller wants to be one of the greatest drum players ever. And he goes into J.K. Simmons' class. J.K. Simmons is a very, very, I don't want to say well respected, but he is very good at his job. He's a teacher in the university, and it takes an unexpected twist when these two characters meet. It's all I say. If you want a motivation movie, watch this movie. I don't know how to explain why it's a motivation movie. I don't know. Whenever I watch this movie, I feel like after it's done, after I'm done watching, I just feel motivated for some reason. I don't know if anyone else feels like that either, but that's just how I feel personally. It's a great movie though. It's a great movie. Right, moving on. We have Will Smith's best ever role. Oh, I didn't do a space, damn it. My typing skills aren't great, chat. Yeah, The Pursuit of Happiness. Kind of goes the same for Whiplash. It is a very motivational movie. Very, very motivational movie. It's, on the same... It's kind of in the same category as 7 Pounds, in a way. It's a very sad and happy movie. The ending is very happy, but the rest of the movie is very sad and depressing. I won't say why it is sad and why it is happy towards the end, but this is definitely a movie you need to watch. Like, it's... Sorry, just take a sip of my water. It is definitely a movie you need to watch. Like, I think when everyone like gets to say maybe 15, 16, that's when I watch this movie. You need to this will be a rule that it's an unwritten rule that you have to watch this movie. And I will say the same about another movie coming up soon. But this movie is great. It's obviously by a fair shot, by an absolute 5 miles, my favorite Will Smith movie, and I think it is his best movie to date. So, and a lot of people agree with me when I say that. If you disagree, feel free to disagree in the comments. I'm I'm open to controversy. If you see my top 20 games, that Dallas had some controversial picks, especially the top 5. But anyway, we're not going to talk about the game list. We're going to talk about movies. Pursuit of Happiness is an amazing movie, and you should definitely watch it. Moving on is the most recent movie I've watched to date. It is Training Day. This is a fucking banger of a movie. And these two actors, Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke, which Ethan Hawke was also starring in Deadpool Society. That's what I was going to say earlier on, but I didn't want to, if I said, oh yeah, Ethan Hawke, great actor, one of his movies are also in this list. I didn't, Training Day is probably his most famous one. as I know, I haven't really watched much of his movies, but watching those two movies kind of makes me think like, okay, I actually need to watch these. Like I need to watch more of his movies. Same goes with Denzel Washington. I need to watch more of his movies, man. This movie is fucking class, and it's been on my list for like, 2 years, and I don't know why I haven't watched it. I just watched it there at the weekend, and it is an intense movie, especially like that one scene. Um, you know, when they're all like, well, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I can't say it. Sometimes I slip out with spoilers. I'm gonna try my best not to slip out with spoilers, but yeah, it's a great movie. It's it's Ethan Hawke. He is I don't want to say prodigy, but I guess kinda. He's new to the whole like cop detective scene. It's his first day. Denzel Washington's character is kind of the cop like that he's with on his first day. He's like mentor kinda for his first day, and like obviously training day. It's all set into one day. And going back actually to when I said about Prisoners Are Stronger, the best acting scenes. This is definite. There's definitely one like that last scene of this movie. You definitely probably seen it before. Um, I don't know if it's Denzel Washington's best acting because I haven't seen much of his movies, but I would probably like from what I've seen out of all his movies, which hasn't been a lot, but I would probably say like it is definitely up there. And he also he got nominated for an Oscar for this movie too, as far as I know. But yeah, look, great acting. It's very fucking intense, and Denzel Washington's character is the most complicated, but yet so interesting character I've probably not ever seen. But he's definitely up there with like complicated characters. Anyway, moving on. Very good movie. Definitely watch it. Our next movie is... Why am I not typing? There we are. I thought it was going to pop up straight away. Oh, what's that? Oh, Jesus. Alright. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. This is a great movie. This is an absolutely banger of a movie, this is. It's the second Tarantino movie on the list. I watched it about a year ago, so it's kind of still fresh in my mind, if that makes sense. But there's a lot of reasons why this movie is like, kind of in the middle of the list. And it's one of my favorite Tarantino movies. Mainly it's because the three lead actors you have are like, I really like their work. Especially Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio. Them two actors were my like top 3 actors ever. And you're gonna see number 1 later on. Well, not number 1 because I don't know what list they are. They just I like these two actors very, very much. And Margot Robbie is fucking class too. Like who doesn't like Margot Robbie? Come on now. But another reason why I like this movie so much is because I guess the vision Tarantino had making this movie is kind of crazy. And I mean vision. He had a vision of the future of Hollywood in this movie. He literally had the future of Hollywood in this movie. Like, some of the actors that he's had in this movie are all, like, this day and age, now, like, right now, are killing it in the industry scene. Like, you have, like, for example, Mikey Madsen. She had a very small role in this movie, but she was after winning an Oscar. Crazy. You have Austin Butler in this movie, also plays a small enough role. But dude, that guy's killing it too. He's in crazy. He's in the Dune movies. He literally played Elvis there a couple of years ago. Other movies I can't think of right now. I'm kind of putting myself on the spot. But then like you have Maya Hawke, Ethan Hawke's daughter. So you already knew she was gonna be like up there with great actors anyway. And like killing it in the whole movie and show industry. Like she's doing her thing in Stranger Things right now. Like she's already up there, but the fact that she was in this movie too is kind of mad with all these other actors. You have Dakota Fanning. As far as I know off the top of my head, I'm not looking into it right now. I'm just speaking of pure knowledge. I could be wrong, but as far as I know, I am right. I think she was in Euphoria. Or am I getting mixed up with someone else? I don't know. Correct me in the comments. But you have another actress, actually. Sorry, forgetting about it. Margaret Qualley, I think her name is. Also great actress. But see, these couple of actors, like those people I named there, they have a quite small role in this movie. But dude, the vision Tarantino, man, the vision he had for this movie is crazy. Cause like them actors are already going crazy in the movie industry. Like it's actually kind of mad. Like fair play. But yeah, getting beside, like, getting out of all that, like, let's sidetrack, like, backtrack a tiny bit. I like this movie because it's set in the 1960s of Los Angeles. Los Angeles is one of my favorite cities I've ever been to in my life. I really do like it, and definitely need to go back. But it's set in, you know, the early filming days of Hollywood. It's like, you know, they're filming a movie in a movie. Leonardo DiCaprio, he's, you know, he plays a film. He plays an actor in this movie. Acting a movie, and you know, Brad Pitt's actor. Then he is the guy that drives Leonardo DiCaprio's character around. They both live in the same house. It's pretty cool. Yada yada yada. Definitely watch it, man. Definitely watch it. Again, like it ends with a big bang. You're never gonna be disappointed. You're always gonna be on your feet watching this movie. You're never gonna be bored. It's a pretty long movie. It's nearly 3 hours. I think it's like, you know, 2 hours 50 minutes. 2 hours 50. I think it's just pushing that 3 hour mark. It's a long movie, but like I said, you're not going to be bored. It's not going to feel like 3 hours. It's a very, very fun movie, I think. But anyway, moving on is another very good movie I've watched recently. We got Goodfellas. Now, what a movie this is, dude. What a movie this is. I'm surprised it took me this long to watch this movie. I only watched it again, like I said, I only watched it recently, like the last 6 months, I'd say. But, man, like, what do I say about it that you don't already know? Like, you know, Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro, sorry, man, I feel really bad for pronouncing his name wrong. Ray Liotta, like, yeah, anyway, sorry. R.I.P. to that guy, first off, you know, absolute legend. Rest in peace to him. But, dude, those three actors, they went crazy in this movie. Like, sometimes, oh wait, no, sorry, this isn't a Tarantino movie. My bad, never mind. I was gonna say sometimes, like, Tarantino movies don't start with a big, you know, big opening, but this isn't a Tarantino movie, I'm raving, sorry. But no, this is, the opening scene to this movie kinda got me like, oh shit, it's gonna be that kind of movie? And I already knew it's like, you know, it's about the mafia and all that kind of stuff, but, dude, it is crazy. It was originally higher, but, you know, I had to sit down and reorganize all these movies, and, you know, it's here now. It's, you know, it's 13th in the list. It's a very good movie. I feel like it's in the right place in this list, compared to all these other movies. But man, watch it, because I think it's a fairly long movie too. I think it's like you know, nearly pushing 3 hours. I might, you know, 2.5 hours to 3 hours, I think it is. So, yeah, it's a pretty long movie too, but, you know, what I said about, you know, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, about that movie, not, like, you know, you won't be bored watching that movie, just take that, and then, like, you know, times that by, like, 30 times with Goodfellas, because you will not be bored watching Goodfellas, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, definitely watch it. I watched it on Prime, so I did. Not sure if it's still on Prime, probably is, but anyway, definitely give that a watch. Now, we have our first Christopher Nolan movie coming up. And our third Leonardo DiCaprio movie. We got Inception, man. Wait, what the hell was that? We got Inception. This game This movie fucks your brain, man. It really does. It's one of those movies that, you know, are so interesting, but, like, gets you thinking, you know? It gets you thinking. This was originally in my, like, top 10, but I had to, like, move, like with Goodfellas, I had to move it down, so I did. And I feel like it's in the right place for this list. But man, it is a crazy, crazy, crazy movie, and the ending, like, you know, the twist in this movie is nuts, man. It's absolutely nuts, and the actors they have in this movie too, like, is like the acting cast, like the cast they have with this movie, like, you know, they got like Leonardo DiCaprio, Cillian Murphy, they got Tom Hardy in this movie. Um, they had Ellen Page, now known as Elliot Page, in this movie. Um, what's that other dude's name? He was in he was in like that something days summer movie. Um, you know who I'm talking. If you've seen a movie, I'm leaving one guy out, but we all know him. I can't think of his name. That's really annoying me now. It's gonna annoy me. Um, but yeah. Anyway, great movie. Christopher Nolan's one of Christopher Nolan's finest movies. Um, and it's a very old movie too. It came out like 2011, 2010. So yeah, it's a very good movie, and it looks great too. Well, obviously it's not gonna look bad, like, but it's not like a game of graphics. But anyway, look, I'm getting off track. Fucking phenomenal movie. Definitely give it a watch. Moving on, we have but we're getting back to our serious movies. Very sad movie actually. It's a true story too. We got 12 Years a Slave. I watched this movie first when I was like 16, and to be honest, I regret watching it when I was 16. I feel like I should have watched it like around how old I am now, like 20. Because I was not ready for this movie when I was 16, man. You gotta be old to watch this movie, or you gotta have like you gotta have the stomach to watch this movie, because this movie it's absolutely like it's gut wrenching, man. It's the most depressing thing ever. It's and the fact that it's a true story too is kind of worse. Like the fact that the fact that this is a true story, and like the whole slavery thing happened in history is kind of I don't have words for it, man. It should never have happened, but this movie really does shed light on it and show in perspective of what people really were like in that time. Specifically the slaves. And it's I don't really know what to say about it, man. It's it's not a beautiful movie. The ending is beautiful. So it is. The ending is very, very good, and Brad Pitt also makes a little cameo at the end of this movie, which is great. His character in this movie is great. But man, this movie is intense. It is sad and it is depressing, but it's also a very, very happy and wholesome ending to it. You can probably tell it. The movie is called 12 Years a Slave, so it's about a dude that was in slavery for 12 years. That's all I'm gonna say. I won't tell you how he got into slavery. I won't tell you what happens at the end of the movie. But holy shit, man! Like this movie it really does shed light onto, shed some perspective on like how people really coped with this, in this time, time in history, and it is very, very good movie. It's a very, very good movie. I definitely recommend people to watch it. And yeah, moving on. We have. Well, that just worked. We'll put that in. There we are. Pulp Fiction. Okay, now we're getting into the good movies. We're getting into I don't want to say good movies because all these movies are great, but now we're getting into like the big movies. So we're getting into the big movies. Pulp Fiction. Holy shit. Tarantino movie. Actually, fun fact. This is my first Quentin Tarantino movie that I've ever watched. And what an introduction to Tarantino movies in general, man. Like, this movie has everything. It has, it has cinematography. It has great acting. It has, intense scenes. And it has absolutely unreal, like, actors in this movie. Like, you got John Travolta and Samuel Jackson, the two main, leads in this movie. You got Uma Thurman, Uma Thurman, sorry, butchered that last name pronunciation. Apologies. Bruce Willis also has a role in this movie too. And man, like this movie is fucking crazy. Like I said, whatever in Tarantino movie, you're never gonna be bored. You will always be on your feet with this movie. You'll probably seen a couple of these, a couple of the scenes in this movie from like the memes over the years. Definitely memes, actually, now that I think about it. But it's a great movie. It's an intense movie. It's, like I said, it's on the long side of movies. It's about 2.5 hours long. But like I said, with Tarantino movies, you never feel the time going. It goes just with the snap of fingers. You start the movie and then you look down at the time and the movie's done. Like it honestly feels like that. Now I haven't watched this movie in a couple of years, but the fact that it's still my top 10, I haven't seen it this long, proves on how good how good the quality of this movie is, how good the acting in this movie is, and how great the movie is just in general. So I don't really know what else to say about it besides watch this movie. It was on Netflix for a while. I'm not sure if it is on Netflix, but I know for a fact it is still on Prime Video. Because I see this on it the last night, so I did when I was looking through movies. But anyway, moving on. We have another. That's not how I spell that. Or no, wait. Why am I doing I? What's wrong with me? How do I spell this shit? Yeah. Oh. God damn it, dude. ING. Oh, wait, what am I doing? Inglourious Bastards. There we are. Sorry, I am not good at spelling. I'm a tiny bit dyslexic too, actually. So, apologies about that. Inglourious Bastards. Another Tarantino movie. The most recent Tarantino movie I've actually watched on this list. Wait, fucking class movie. Very good movie. I like, if you know me in person, I like I like my war movies. Which, now thinking about it, I've missed a few war movies on this list, but look, we move. I will add them onto the next list when I update this list. But yeah, Inglourious Bastards it probably has one of my favorite intros to a movie ever. It's a very intense movie. It's set in World War II, by the way. It's not a true story. Well, as far as I know, it's not a true story. I don't think it is. Could be wrong on that, but as far as I know, it's not. But yeah, it's set in World War II. It's about this gang, the Inglourious Bastards. It's about them. And dude, there's one scene in particular that makes me like this movie so much. Obviously, the intro of this movie and the ending of this movie is great, but there's a scene in the basement where there's a bunch of soldiers and they're playing card games, and if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm getting at right now. Obviously, can't say because the people who haven't seen the movie, but man, holy shit, that is again like one of my favorite scenes in any movie ever, because how intense it is. It's a fun watch. It's a very fun watch. I really like Brad Pitt's character in this movie, and there's also another scene actually, when they're in a theater. I'm not gonna say you've probably seen it if from memes and stuff, but yeah, it's a great movie. It's a very fun watch. It's very entertaining. It's very intense, especially the scene in the basement. But that's all I'm gonna say with that one. Moving on, we have where is it? We got Shutter Island. Holy shit, this movie is. See, some people say this is Leonardo DiCaprio's best movie, and I don't know. I'm conflicted. It's definitely up there with it. Up there with his best movies. It's definitely one of my favorite Leonardo DiCaprio movies. So it is. But holy shit, dude! What a movie! Intense wouldn't even do justice with this movie, and how intense this movie is, because it wouldn't even describe it properly. The ending twist of this movie is fucking nuts, and it still has me, bamboozled to this day. And I watched this a year ago. Martin Scorsese, he's the director. It's one of my first movies that I've actually watched from him. Which kind of makes me think damn, I gotta watch more movies of his, because holy shit. It is great, and him and Leonardo DiCaprio actually have a lot of movies together, so they do. And actually, now that I think about it, he is the director for Goodfellas, so he is. So, I have actually watched one of his movies, and the Wolf of Wall Street, which isn't on this list because I haven't seen it. I haven't fully watched it yet, but yeah, he's a great director. The Leonardo DiCaprio and what's his name? Mark Ruffalo, that's it. These two actors in this movie absolutely cooked. They cooked so much. Like the cinematography, the acting in this movie is great. The intense this movie has on you is crazy also. And man, the ending. You could literally be the smartest person in the world and you would still not see this ending coming. That is all I'm gonna say. It is a fucking banger. Definitely give it a watch. And moving on to one of my favorite movies, actually. I think this is my favorite Tarantino movie. Yeah, it actually is. It actually is. We got the one and only, Django. Where is it? We got Django Unchained. Another Christopher. No, I was gonna say Christopher Nolan. Sorry. Another Tarantino movie along with Leonardo DiCaprio, which he's a fucking very bad character. He's one of the worst racists you could ever come to think of ever. Well, along with the bad guy, the Nazi guy in Inglourious Basterds. I gotta search this guy's name because it's annoying me because I need to talk about his character. Oh yeah, Christoph Waltz. He also plays so it's actually really funny. He plays an absolute crazy racist person in Inglourious Basterds, wins an Oscar for it, and then we go to Django and he plays the complete opposite, and he wins an Oscar for it. He's probably the only man on the world that's played a racist and a non-racist and won both Oscars for it. Kind of mad, but yeah, Jamie Foxx is the lead in this movie. Great, great fucking actor. It kind of shows you how good of an actor he is. And yeah, man, this movie is great. I really like this movie so much too because it's also goes along with my favorite game, which spoilers for my top 20 games ever. My favorite game is Red Dead Redemption 2. That's number 1 on that list. But it's very it's set in the same time as that game. I kind of like that era. The whole cowboys shooting each other and shit. I like that, Western vibe to it. I like that. It's very cool. It's very good, and I think it suits this movie down to the bone. So it does. And Tarantino's really good at directing these kind of movies too. And the ending of this movie is it is crazy. It is crazy. So it is. It is crazy. But anyway, moving on. We have one of my, this was top 5. We got Good Will Hunting. I don't know how to explain this movie. Okay, why I want to go there? I hold this very, very close to my heart, man. I really do. It's a phenomenal movie. The acting, Matt Damon portrays in this movie along with, his co-star Robin Williams is actually phenomenal. And hang on, let me skip this song. It is crazy. It's one of my comfort movies. Dead Poets Society is kind of one of my comfort movies too, actually. But Good Will Hunting is definitely my comfort movie. It's a coming of age movie. You've probably seen clips of this movie. In best acting scenes ever. Because this movie, man, let me tell you something. This movie has absolutely surreal acting. It really does, and it's very intense too. Well, not as intense as other movies on this list, but it definitely has some intense scenes. So it does. But yeah, Matt Damon also won an Oscar for this movie, just like Ben Affleck won an Oscar for this movie. Fair play to them too, because if it wasn't for them two writing this shit in high school, we would never have gotten this movie. And man, God bless that shit, because this movie is it was my favorite. It was in my top 5, which you're going to see my top 5 now. And it might, over the years, when the years come more and more, the more years come, it might slip back into my top 5. But my top 5 right now, isn't going to be controversial. Number 5 is going to be controversial, but I think the other 4 are going to be fairly, fairly agreeable. I think most of you are going to agree with it. But anyway, moving on. Good Will Hunting, you gotta watch it. Especially if you're a lad watching this video. Honestly, it will make you change. Like, it will change your perspective on life, man. And that is a good thing, because this movie is fucking great. I don't know how to put it into words, but man, this changed my life for the better. That's all I'm gonna say. If you also watched the movie, you probably understand like what I'm trying to say. But yeah, it's a great movie, man. It's very wholesome too. But anyway, I feel like I'm talking too much about this. Well, there's not too, I can't talk too much about it because, I don't have enough time to talk about how good this movie is. But anyway, gotta move on. We have probably the most controversial pick on this list. We got Sinners, man. Ryan Coogler cooked with this movie. It is the latest movie on this list. The only 2025 movie on this list. And holy shit, dude. Holy shit. This movie made me go to the cinema back to back to watch it. That's kind of mad to say. Because I've never done that with any movie. Like, I haven't done that with Infinity War, I haven't done that with Endgame, I haven't done it with any other movie I've watched. And I've watched a lot of movies in the cinemas. But this movie kind of like, I don't know, it opened my eyes to something. Like, it opened, like, this is movie. Like, this is, I don't want to say television, because it's not television, but this is peak cinema. It's cinema, that's what it is. This is cinema. You gotta, like, if you are one of the unlucky ones that have not seen this movie in the cinema, man, my prayers are with you, and I feel so bad for you, because I hope they re-release this in the cinema, because you gotta watch this shit in the cinema, man. Where do I start? The cinematography in this movie is out of this world. The music in this movie is out of this world. The acting from Michael B. Jordan is out of this world. He plays 2 characters, Smoke and Stack. 2 of my favorite protagonists in any movie. And, bro, it is crazy. Now, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this. Me putting the top 5 this soon. But, I don't know. Like, I like this movie so much, too, also, because it isn't, like, it's a cultural movie. It explores and it dives into so many different cultures of the world. Like, it's not just, African and African American culture. It also, dives into Chinese culture, a tiny bit of Irish culture, which, I'm Irish myself, so that's, gonna be a soft spot for me. I really like this movie. There's one scene in it. It's an Irish dancing scene. I fucking love it, man. Like, it almost got me dancing in the cinema or something. If you've seen the movie, you'll understand. If you haven't, you probably think I'm raving right now. But it is crazy. The music in this movie really does solidify it into the top 5 along with the cinematography. Those 2 things on its own just make it a top 5 movie to me. And in it, like, if you're to make a good movie, you need good music and good cinematography. Like, obviously the most important thing is good acting, but you can't just have good acting and then bad music and bad cinematography. Like, if you want to make a great movie, you need to add good cinematography, good music, and, good acting. This movie has all of those 3 things. Just like, the rest of the movies on this list have those 3 things. But this is definitely one of my favorite movies that have come out in the last couple of years. But anyway, moving on. I don't even need to look at my list right now. I already know what it is off by heart. Okay, we got Fight Club. I kind of got spoiled for this movie a tiny bit. I was talking to one of my friends last year about it. Not about this movie, but we're talking about something else. We're talking about The Boys, and we're talking about something in The Boys, and one of my friends, he was like, "Oh yeah, that's something like Fight Club." Well, no. So basically, yeah, it was in The Boys. Oh, sorry, I can't say actually because it'll spoil Fight Club. Yeah, the twist in this movie is kind of crazy, and I kind of got spoiled for it. I didn't get fully spoiled for it. My friend kind of hinted at it, and I was like, "Oh, that's weird." I had a theory in my head, and then when I was watching the movie, I was kind of putting it piece by piece. That's kind of putting it 2 and 2 together throughout the whole movie, and I was like, "Oh my god, yeah, this is crazy." Like, I already know what's about to happen. But that's because I kind of got spoiled for it beforehand. If I didn't get spoiled for it beforehand, I would never have seen the ending and the twist of this movie come. This and I'm just gonna put this in now. This and Seven could switch. These two could switch roles, depending on the day and depending on how I'm feeling on that day. But right now, this is how the list is. Seven's up there. Seven is like definitely one of my favorite movies. I have this shit on Blu-ray. Like, I watched like 5 years. I watched it 5 times in the last year. Which the first time I watched this movie, and I'm very, very disappointed about it actually, is I watched this on the plane coming home from New York, and I seen a clip of this movie, the ending specifically. I seen a clip of this movie and like the best scenes in movies. And I seen like a specific clip, like what's in the box. We all know that clip. It's a very famous clip. And yeah, I seen that and I was like, oh my god, this movie really looks good. So I didn't realize it was 7. And then when I kind of put it, like, when I put it on and I started watching, I was like, absolutely hooked. And, like, it's really funny, actually, because I was watching this too, headphones in, like, no one could hear the movie. And, I was sitting on the plane, I was on the aisle seat. And I was in, like, the middle aisle seat. And, dude, I paused the movie, got up, go toilet, and I turned around, there was this old lady sitting behind me, yeah? And she was like, oh, it's a really good movie, isn't it? And I was like, oh yeah, have you watched this? And I was like, she was like, yeah, I remember watching this in cinema. It's a very, very good movie. You're very, like, close to the plot twist of the movie. And I'm like, oh, shit, okay. And she was, like, watching the whole movie, behind me from, like, where she was sitting. And it was actually, like, it was very kind of, it was kind of wholesome, so it was. And I turned it off and I turned around and I was like, that is one of the best movies I've ever watched in my entire life. And she said, yeah, wait till you watch it the second time because it will make more sense. And like, it's about the 7 sins. And the 7 sins stood out way more to me the second and third time I watched this movie. So that's also why I like it, because, when you watch these kind of movies, especially Fight Club, if you watch these movies for the second time going, like the first time you're going to watch it, it's an experience, but the second time you watch it, it's going to be even more an experience because you're going to see things that you missed in the first time watching it. And 7 and Fight Club do that perfectly. So to do 7 and Fight Club do that perfectly. But yeah, like I said, these two can switch, but right now 7 is better than Fight Club, but they can switch. They have switched and they probably will switch back and forth throughout the rest of the years. But anyway, here we have... Dude, I cannot spell. What's wrong with me? We got Shawshank Redemption. This movie was number 1 for a very, very, very long time. Now, I've only watched this movie once, okay? I thought the music was over. I was about to, like, go and check on that. Yeah, man, like, this was top 1 movie for me for a very, very long time. Until I watched my number 1 movie twice. We'll get into that in a minute. But Shawshank Redemption it's just one of them movies that everyone has seen and everybody loves. And everybody can agree that it is a top 5 movie ever. In my opinion. Like I said, if you disagree with anything on this list, let me know in the comments, because I'm down to talk about it. But Shawshank Redemption is a great movie. It is full with fun, wholesome scenes, also, intense and... like, just intense scenes. Acting is fucking great. The cinematography is great. And there's one scene in, like, specifically that puts this in my top 5. My top 3, I should say, is the scene on the rooftop where the prisoners are... It's a prison movie, actually, I should say. It's a prison movie. Yeah, there's a scene where they're all on the rooftop working, the prisoners, and they're working with the guards of the prison guards. And it's like, it really shows how great, 1, the acting is in this movie, and 2, how good the writing is in this movie, which, honestly, that's just one thing I didn't realize I didn't point out in any of these movies. The writing in every single movie on this list that we've mentioned so far is absolutely unreal. Now, obviously, there's other, like, these movies here are better than these movies in writing, but these movies down here are still very good in writing. But yeah, Shawshank Redemption, great, and it also has one of my favorite shots ever. You know, the movie poster. That is my favorite shot in any movie, and you know, if you've seen it, you know you can understand why. It is a crazy scene. It is a crazy shot. Cinematography is mental in this movie, and yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about it. Moving on, we have my number one movie ever. We have Interstellar, man. And like I was saying with Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio being my favorite actors, Matthew McConaughey is also my favorite actor. They're like, you know, my top three actors of all time. I can't see that changing, to be honest, unless they pull a Kanye West and do some racist shit on Twitter or something. But that's not gonna happen. I can't. Yeah, nothing will change the fact that these three are my favorite actors. I don't know in what lists they are my favorite actors, but it would probably be, you know, Matthew McConaughey might be, like, for a long time Leonardo DiCaprio was number one, but after watching Interstellar just alone and watching True Detective season 1, you know, both star Matthew McConaughey, it's a great movie, man. It's kind of like shown me on how much of an good actor he is, and this kind of like added to a butterfly effect to me too, because after watching Interstellar, I went on to True Detective, and after watching True Detective, you know, Matthew McConaughey's like, you know, interviews start like popping up on YouTube and stuff, and we've all seen his famous Oscar speech for 2014 for Dallas Buyers Club, which I need to watch that movie. That's why it's not on this list. It'll probably be like top 10 or top 20, I'd say. But yeah, watching those interviews kind of just solidified him in my top three favorite actors ever. And then I also went and bought his book, Greenlights. Great book. It really got me into reading, so it did. It really did like get me into reading. It was, you know, I never read a book before that, and reading that book kind of helped me with reading, and it kind of changed my perspective on life, just like Good Will Hunting did. You know, it's a book about, you know, stories he's gone through, you know, things he's gone through in his life, and you know how you can, like, you know, learn from your mistakes in your life and stuff like that. It's a very good movie, man. Not movie. Interstellar is a great movie. It's number one for a reason, but the book is very, very good too. But anyway, getting back to the movie. Christopher Nolan movie, obviously, the greatest film director ever. Now that's saying something. I only have Inception, Interstellar on this list. I know it's only 2 movies, but like I said on stream, when I was making this list originally, I forgot so many movies of his. You know, Dunkirk, forgot about that. 1917, I think he films that too. Actually, I could be wrong on that, but you know, Oppenheimer, Tenet, I need to watch. The Dark Knight, fucking great movie. But I'm going to leave superhero movies and put them in their own list. I feel like that's fair because, you know, it's too hard to pick some superhero movies and put them in my top 5, man, when you have absolute gems and bangers like these movies. So I'm gonna put them in my own list. If you want to see that video, let me know, and I will definitely do that. But yeah, Interstellar, man. It has some of the best acting I've ever seen it has the best acting I've ever seen in any movie. Has the best cinematography I've ever seen in any movie. Has the best film score I've ever heard in any movie ever. And it you know, it's a movie, you know, set around space. And if you know me in person, you know me in real life, you know I love space. And this movie takes that whole space thing and it takes it to the next level, man. It really does. Me talking about this movie and me talking about, you know, say the top 10 movies in general, maybe, like, you know, just me talking about any of these movies on this list in general does not do it justice. Does not do it justice to talk about these movies. You need to watch them to really, like, experience them. But anyway, I'm not going to waste any more of your time. If you manage to get through this whole entire video, like, you know, in one sitting, from the first second to the very last setting, man, shout out to you, because that is crazy. That is crazy dedication to watch this shit. If you like seeing videos of me just rambling on about random stuff, let me know, because I actually kind of like doing videos like this. And, you know, yeah, they can be entertaining sometimes, because most of these lists have controversial picks and controversial takes. Definitely the game lists, by the way. Like, we got into a heated conversation on that on stream. I'm not going to get into that, but yeah, if you want to see me go into any more spoiler review details about any of these movies, I will definitely go into it. Specifically, this top 5, I would really want to get in, especially Sinners. I would talk about Sinners for like hours, man. I would talk about Sinners for hours, but even 7, I would talk about 7 and Fight Club, Interstellar, Shawshank Redemption. I'll talk about any of these movies, especially the top 10. Maybe not the bottom, but especially the top 10. I would talk about for hours. If you want to see me get into it more, let me know, and I will definitely do that. Thank you all for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. God bless and good luck.